What's goody? It's Jazzy right here, and we are back with another video. Before I even get started, I just want to just say to anybody who watches my videos and takes anything out of it, I really appreciate you guys just watching the videos and just even caring about what I have to say and my input on certain things, and just spreading good vibes, and that's what it's all about. So if I haven't told you guys, I do love and appreciate you guys so much. So just want to put that out there, because I don't say I love you to people who watch my videos. Like, it's kind of like I'm just like, here's a video, and then I'm just leave. No, it's important to be very appreciative to for things in your life. And if I can help one person, and then they can take that and help someone else, that's how we create a positive cycle. Okay. Now, I wanted to touch on the inner child. Okay. Your inner child. Okay. That's when you go deep in your childhood and figure out why you're the way that you are. You know, now, counselors and therapists, mental health specialists, call this technique CBT, which is cognitive behavior therapy. But I'm here to tell you that it's nothing but shadow work. That's basically what that is. It's shadow work to, it's very important to heal your inner child. It's the only way you can move on. So you won't, pass over any toxic traits to your children or to anyone for that matter. Um, the inner child, sometimes the inner child, is cries for a hug and cries for acceptance and just cries for attention, because those are things that maybe you didn't receive as a child. I know for me, my inner child was screaming, kicking, because when it comes to like going to parties and going on dates and going to the football games, homecoming dances, prom, things like that, I don't know anything about that. I was sheltered in that manner. I'm just now like getting into like dating and stuff like that. But when it comes to real life issues, I had to grow up pretty fast. I had that kind of like took a major part of my childhood. So partially my childhood was stolen because I was exposed to so much. And it's a lot of things that a little kid should never see, you know. And growing up, I always felt like, I don't want to say I'm the black sheep, but it sure felt like a black sheep. I wouldn't even call it a sheep. I would call it a wolf. Like, I was just the only wolf there. I wouldn't even call it a black sheep, because I kind of felt like I couldn't relate to anyone in my family. Yeah, I had my cousins, but even with them, I felt like, I don't know, I just couldn't relate. And they couldn't relate to me. So for most of my childhood, I was silent, because I just felt like it didn't really matter what I said. No one will listen or understand anyway. And with me and my mom, um, I love my mom to pieces. And it's not like I never loved her, but I was really quiet when it came to her, because she didn't know what was going on with me. So I feel like part of the inner child, the pain, I kind of caused my own pain in a way, because I didn't open up to anyone. Um, I didn't. I didn't, because I just felt like no one would listen anyway. And when I did open up, no one listened. There were times where like growing up, how like in society, especially in the black community, black boys are taught to not be emotional because it's not the manly thing to do. Well, that kind of goes in my house. In my house, oh no, no one could cry. I was always told no one wants to hear you cry, so don't cry. Like, they told black girls that in my family as well. So for years, it's like I kind of just would hold everything in because if I cried, no one will listen. If I yell, no one will listen. So I internalized everything, and I just shut up and did what people told me to do. If somebody said, "Oh, you're gonna go to school to be a nurse, or you're gonna do this, and you're gonna be a part of this organization," I just shut up and did it because what else could I have done? Um. So when I was a teenager, I went through a lot. Actually, I wouldn't even say teenager. I would say from the time I was 11 years old, I struggled a lot. Okay. When I was 11 years old, I was struggling with my sexuality. Um, in case you didn't know, like I dabble with both genders. Um, but I was always told that bisexuality is not a thing, and um, so I kind of used to project to bi girls a lot because I'm like, that's not even real, that's not real. Either you pick one or the other, but that was kind of like, you know, yeah, it was projecting. But I was always told that that's not real, and I was always told that you pick one or the other. And then when I was 11, I actually thought I was a lesbian at 11. I actually thought I was a lesbian at 11 or 12, um, because it was one or the other. And then at the time, it was kind of by default. I already had an interest in girls already, but when I finished the sixth grade, I was put into online school. So I wasn't around other kids. And when the only kids I was around was when I went to the Kingdom Hall. Let me know if you want a story time about my experience with studying with Jehovah's Witnesses. I did do a video a long time ago, but I took it off because I was just bashing the religion and I didn't feel like dealing with all the negative comments coming from Jehovah's Witnesses. So you're gonna get that regardless if you talk about the experience in a positive way or in a negative way. So you guys let me know if you want that story because it's a long one. um and when I would go to the meetings, the only kids that were around my age were girls. So it kind of happened by default in a way. But then again, I already had an interest already because I already was crushing on two girls already. They were 3 years older than me. Um, One of them actually went to the Kingdom Hall, and she was actually the cousin of one of my friends. Yeah. She used to make me very nervous when I was around her, and I noticed it was the same feel. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my computer. It was the same feeling I got when I was around boys that I liked. It was the same feeling. So that's how I knew I like her. And I kind of was afraid to be friends with girls as I got older because I'm like, what if they know? What if they think I like them or something? And then now I'm just like, whatever, whatever. I am who I am, whatever the case. And I accepted that at 18 that's what it was. I kept on questioning, like, what it would be like to kiss a girl? What it would be like to date a girl? What it be like to just to fall in love with a girl? I know it was like a guy, but what is it like to like a girl? And then I just accepted that, you know what, you have an interest in girls too. So I accepted that, and that it is what it is. So, hey, it is what it is. Um, but yeah, I was struggling with my sexuality. I was a part of an organization that I did not want to be a part of at all. I felt so out of place going to the Kingdom Hall every day because we pretty much went every day. I felt out of place. The only enjoyment I had in going to the meetings was fellowshipping, and that's it. That's it. There was nothing else. Everything else I hated. I hated it. Um, what else? I'm struggling in school. Um, which that really wasn't my fault because it was partially my fault because I went to a very, very bad school. All the teachers were leaving. So we had a lot of teachers who were the P word, so it was a lot going on. We had one teacher who was a drug addict, and we caught him. Okay, it was a lot. Okay, it was a lot going on. All right, 2017 was that year. So I was going through a lot with that. Just, I guess in a way, I had to grow up. Like a lot of kids, well, I can't speak for our kids. Sometimes reality hits that it's like that I don't know what it is, but it hits you at different ages. And for me, it hit me at 11. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, it actually hit me sooner than that, as far as like being a grown up, like being an adult. Like it hit me. I grew up very fast. I was exposed to a lot. Um, so I never really had a chance to be a child. The only enjoyment I had was the fact that, I'm not gonna lie, as a child, I was spoiled. I wasn't bratty, but I was spoiled, meaning I didn't even have to ask for much. Like people would go out and just buy stuff for me. And sometimes I would ask, and sometimes I'll come home and, oh, we got you this new Barbie doll, or oh, we got you this new game for your GameCube and stuff like that. Yes, I had a GameCube. I'm working on getting another one because I'm an old school head. I do want to get the PS5, but I never played the PS4. I played after PlayStation 2. I was kind of done with Sony. I was kind of done because I used to hate my PlayStation 2. But yeah, like that's what it was. And I think in a way, I feel like my family tried to buy my affection instead of actually asking me what it is that I really wanted. If that makes sense, it's kind of like that was their own way of saying we love you, which I appreciate. But at the same time, you have to spend time with your children. Buying them love and affection is not enough. That's how they grow up, and they don't want to work for much. They expect things to happen. So I think as I got older, I kind of just like, I actually want to work and get my own stuff. I don't want to have to depend on anybody. So I grew up pretty quick. On top of that, at 12, I was diagnosed with diabetes, so that played a part in my mental health as well, where I was just very insecure about that. And doctors making me feel like I have to be on a diet and I'm a child. So, which we're getting a handle on that. Try to stay as healthy as I possibly can. Going to the hospital twice, because of that. So that played a part in my mental health. And then when I got to high school, I think my biggest concern was being liked and being popular. So I used to lie about my life or exaggerate my life. But it's like, girl, I think they saw through me. I don't know. Maybe they believed me. I don't know. But I did that. I lied about having a boyfriend at 14, and he was a senior. I said he was a senior. He went to another school. He was 17, going on 18. Oh yeah, yeah. And then it got too hot when everyone was like, well, when we gonna meet him? When we gonna meet him? We want to meet him. And it's just like, yeah, we broke up. But I did that because I felt like I had to try to fit in, because all my life I felt like a stranger. So I tried to fit in, but it didn't work, or maybe it worked too well. I don't know. And then I was depressed. I lost myself, and I was depressed, and I even tried to complete 3 times. And that's something I also struggle with. As far as like with depression, sometimes it's not even that I'm infatuated with. It's just death itself is something that I'm infatuated with, and I know I am, because I look at death as paradise. I look at death as peace. So sometimes, even during my spiritual journey and my recovery, I catch myself thinking, I wish I can leave the earth and never come back, because I'll be at peace. So that's something, and it didn't really hit me that that was like a real thing that I struggled with until I took a class, my final semester. I took a class, and it was a prevention class, and it was a class to allow me to deal with that because it's been 11 years since I tried. So, because yeah, I actually tried to do it, and my little brother saved me from doing it. So, thank God I'm here, you know. So, but I never really fully dealt with that. So I pushed it to the side. I have pushed everything to the side. How I grew up, the things I saw, I pushed everything to the side and kind of just focused on the now, you know. Um at 17 I made a decision to better myself, but that's still, I guess I was on the spiritual journey then, but didn't know that I was on a spiritual journey. I just said I was going to better myself, and I looked in the mirror and kept saying that you're better than this, and you're beautiful, and this and that. That's what I told myself in the mirror. So I guess I've been on a spiritual journey since 2013, not 2019. But 2019, that's when I recognized that I was on a spiritual journey and I was on another path. Because I still feel like I was on a path of destruction even after that. Because I went from being very passive and quiet to aggressive and angry, always causing problems. Well, not well, yeah, causing problems, feeding into to drama, um hanging out with low vibrational people. um Not that that had an influence as far as like action, because I'm not, if it's stupid, if it's not logical, I'm not doing it. If I have an intuition about something and it's not good, I'm not going to do it. But I did let their energy drain me. So, and then I had that spiritual journey. I started to really change in 2019. And that's when I dealt with my inner child. I had a breakdown. I was crying, drinking, smoking, um, and just thinking life would be better if I wasn't here. But then I started to think, you know what? I've been thinking that way since I was a child. And taking those counseling classes helped me to really figure out how to heal my inner child. And you have to, because that's why you project so much, because whatever it is you didn't receive as a child, that's what you're looking for. But the problem is everyone can't give you that, so you have to heal that yourself. And it starts from your parents, really, because they're the first people you know, or your guardian, your guardians, whoever raised you. That's, if they raised you at all, those are the first people that affects you the most. And as a child, you can't do anything. Of course, as a child, it's easy for you to blame them if they don't love you, they don't give you attention, they always yell at you, they abuse you and things like that. But when you grow up and be an adult, you cannot blame them anymore. You have to heal from that and let it not affect you. And I made a decision in 2019, right before I started to align myself on a better path, that I wasn't going to let my family affect me anymore. Now, of course, I still get pissed off, because it's just like, why are you like this? But at the same time, I can't change them. They are who they are. It's wrong. It's just like it's wrong for them to try to change me. It's wrong for me to try and change them. That's who they are, and it is what it is. And sometimes in your spiritual journey, you come across new family members. You come across people in your journey to help you, whether they are toxic for you or they're not. You come across people like that. And when I started my journey, I met 3 narcissists. Well, actually, the other narcissist I met before, but he came back. He came back. So I had to learn who I was through them in a sense. And actually, and once I get a better understanding on the of the con what am I trying to say? Once I get a better understanding of the concept, I actually met my evil twin. My narcissistic ex-friend was my evil twin. So, um, once I understand that concept more, I may do a video. Actually, I wish my homegirl could do a video on it because she's the one who introduced it to me in the first place. So, yeah, maybe I'll wait for her to do the video and maybe I'll just make another video because I don't want to take her idea or, take that away from her. But we all do have an evil twin. And we may also have a false twin and twin flame, soulmate, all of that. So, yeah. Um, I'm trying to keep a track of time. I'm actually going to attend a virtual game night. If you watch Soul Energy, let me shut up because we don't need shows knowing about the damn game night, okay? But well, I kind of just said it, but but yeah. So I'm gonna be chilling with them for a little bit. But yeah. The inner child is important. It's the most important part of the journey. And it's so hard. Shadow work is not easy to do. Honey, it's not. It's emotional. It's stressful. But I guarantee you will be amazed of how high your vibrations go once you do that inner healing. And that's what CPT is. It's nothing but shadow work. It's shadow work. And sometimes you gotta channel certain things. Actors and actresses do that all the time. They are healing their inner child just with the roles that they play. So that's another way. You know how many times I didn't practice my acting and then I cried because I had a realization about my childhood? Like I realized, like when it comes to women, I am a people pleaser because growing up, I grew up in a house, mostly of women. So that's who I was trying to please. Whereas when it came to men, I don't really care about pleasing men. I don't really care. Unless you're someone that I care for and I like, but that's a two-way street. That's a two-way street. Just like I gotta please you, you gotta please me. We have to love and cater to each other. But when it came down to women, it didn't matter. And I'm not just talking about women like romantically, because I've never been romantically involved with a woman before. But I have had women in my life where friends and family that I felt like I had to like break my back to please them because I just wanted them to be proud of me. So that's what I realized last year about myself. And I'm ready to see what I have to realize about myself this year, and we still working on the inner child. My inner child is no longer screaming and crying. My inner child may shed tears every now and again, but she's not kicking and screaming anymore. This video seemed like it was all over the place. I'm still gonna post it. But again, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. I really do. I don't say that in any of my videos actually. And I'm gonna start saying it because it's important to appreciate the people around you and the people that support you. And like I said, if I can help one person, the message will get around so fast, and that's what's important. You may not like the messenger sometimes, because that's what I'm learning, that sometimes it's not always the messenger. The message is what counts. It's a lot of people who are messed up individuals, but their messages are positive. So sometimes you gotta pay attention to the message and not the messenger. There are some people out there who don't like me, and honestly, it is what it is. We're not meant to like everybody. It is what it is. I know I have some qualities about myself that I want to change. So, but my message is still valid. But we all have work to do. All of us. If you think people, that's another video I'm gonna do, and I might film it after this because an entertainer actually inspired me to just now to do this. So, but yeah, so if I can just inspire one person to do the right thing or do what's best for them. So the right thing, whatever right means to you, as long as you're not hurting anyone, putting anyone in harm's way or hurting yourself, then you know what? It's the right thing to do. So anyway, I will see you guys and I see you guys and I love you guys. Bye.